Hello and welcome to my restoration presentation. Let's go ahead and kick it off and get this thing started. Um, so my title is pretty nice and easy. It is titled Adam-ondi-Ahman Explained. The unit and major concept that it's found in is Unit 9, the Kirtland Opposition and Missouri Expulsion, as well as major concept number 2, which is Adam-ondi-Ahman. Kind of easy. The reason why it's found here is because there was a lot of opposition in Kirtland. The prophet was kind of threatened like multiple times, like a bunch of like leaders, like a bunch of like the Quorum of the 12 were like also in on it, like they wanted to kill him and stuff. So he hid in a barrel like you do in the 1800s, and he kind of just fled from Kirtland and went to Missouri, a place that the Lord called the land of milk and honey. And yeah, and they started searching around for lands and places where the people could settle, the ones that were leaving Kirtland. Luckily, like the U.S. government hadn't explored that area, so you could go find a land and then like just live on it until the government came by and like kind of went around and like sized the land up and made it all official, and then you could buy it for like $1.50 per acre, I think. So yeah, that's when it was discovered. They were going around kind of looking for a place. The type of doctrine that Adam-ondi-Ahman falls under, it is a supportive doctrine. It's not core doctrine. It's not essential to your salvation. It's also not a policy doctrine because it's not like it kind of got instated and taken out. Like it's an event. It's like a place where important things have happened and will happen. So yeah, it's kind of nice. It's just right there in the middle. Two key concepts. Concept number 1, Adam-ondi-Ahman is the place where Adam and Eve went to after being kicked out of the Garden of Eden. This is made apparent because in one of the scholarly articles that I'll show you later, it cites how Joseph Smith found an altar, and he says that that's literally the altar where Adam offered sacrifices to the Lord with his family. Concept number 2 is that Adam-ondi-Ahman is a gathering place in which Adam will appear before everyone, and he will hold a council to prepare us for the second coming of Christ. During this meeting, all the priesthood keys that have been given will be returned, and everyone who had keys will have to give an accounting of their work. So this is the first academic source. It's kind of like explaining where the name comes from, kind of. It's a sample of pure language given by Joseph the Seer. So this is where kind of the Adamic language comes from. So it's kind of put up in like a question and answer format. So the question is, what is the name of God in pure language? And it's Amen, right? And then the meaning of the pure word Amen is the being which made all things in all its parts. Okay. So that's how it doesn't really say what Adam-ondi-Ahman is, right? But you can kind of decipher that Amen means God, right? And Adam, that's pretty easy. And Ondi, we're just not sure. Something important to know about this academic source is that it explained that just like how Revelation works, line upon line, precept upon precept, it worked that way with Joseph Smith. And so that's why over time he got these revelations, and it kind of built more upon it. That's how, so this one, for example, talking about the words and what they mean came later, whereas he discovered the place first. So yeah, this is another academic source. This is the one I was talking about with the altar. So it's President Taylor interviewing Brother Smoot, which was a man who was there with Joseph Smith when they found the place. And it says, did you see on the top of the hill a place called Adam-ondi-Ahman? The remains of what Joseph Smith said had been an altar built by Adam. And he said, yes, sir, I saw it in 1837. And he says, what was the condition? It's like, they were great. Yeah, they looked like they had been torn from a wall. And he said, did you examine the wall further at any later period? And he says, no, we intended to do so, but after the war, or some call the Mormon War, was over, the opportunity to do so never presented itself afterwards. So basically they were kicked out of Missouri again with the extermination order, and they never got to go back. So we have no idea where that went. Here's kind of a picture that I found on Google. That might be it. Who knows? The Joseph Smith paper quote. So this one is talking about Adam and his coming later on. It says Daniel speaks of the ancient days. He means the oldest man. So when he says the ancient of days, he means Adam. He will call his children together and hold a council with them to prepare them for the coming of the Son of Man. He, Adam, is the father of the human family and presides over the spirits of all men. And all that have had the keys must stand before him in this grand council. This may take place before some of us leave this stage of action, meaning this life. The Son of Man stands before him, and there is given him glory and dominion. Adam delivers up his stewardship to Christ, that which was delivered to him as holding the keys of the universe, but retains his standing as head of the human family. Good. And this is just to prepare us for his second coming. Christ will be there too. Adam will give back his keys, and he will keep his title of head of the human family. Two church sources. I have two right here. It's a talk by Neil A. Maxwell, God Will Yet Prevail, and Mark E. Peterson, Adam the Archangel. God Will Yet Prevail. It's just talking about things that will happen. And he talks about Adam-ondi-Ahman, how Adam will come. And Adam the Archangel is talked by Mark E. Peterson, and it's just him after he visited Adam-ondi-Ahman. He felt very inspired, and so he taught us about that. DNC verse 1. So this verse is in the middle of like a ton of like random little like talks about the priesthood. All of a sudden it says 3 years previous to the death of Adam, he called Seth, Enos, and all these other guys who were all high priests with a residue of his posterity who were righteous into the valley of Adam-ondi-Ahman, and there bestowed upon them his last blessing. This is when he was like 900 and something years old. DNC verse 2, it talks about how Spring Hill is named by the Lord Adam-ondi-Ahman because it is the place where Adam shall come to visit his people, or the Ancient of Days, which is Adam, shall sit, as spoken by Daniel the prophet. Key takeaway is that Adam-ondi-Ahman is an important historical and spiritual landmark in which important church events have happened and won't yet happen. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.